right, good morning and welcome once again to Cool TV, Channel 196 and Star Times. My name is DAPO BANJO. This is Crossfire. It's a Monday morning, and for me and for you, I know everybody is just working towards ensuring that the week comes out or turns out well. And I am not alone in the studio. I have someone that you probably have missed, on this show for quite a while. Ishama Gaine is not here. But I have GBENGA ABOROWA, and we'll be running the show together this week.
Good morning, Dapo. Nice to be here again.
All right, GBENGA. Good. I mean, nice having you on the show. And as usual, we definitely will be taking you through a couple of issues that happened over the weekend and activities as it borders around government and governance in Nigeria. So myself and GBENGA will definitely be taking you through, these particular stories that are trending. We're supposed to have a gentleman join us in the studio. Due to traffic, he's not here yet, but we hope that he will make it before the end of the show. And so we definitely will be welcoming him on the show. Now, GBENGA, how's your weekend been?
Weekend has been fantastic, but security-wise, and of course we know what the newspapers are saying, it's all doom and gloom. But before we get into the headlines, the last time I was here with you, the APC was in the opposition, and how times have changed, and the APC is now in the driving seat. How does he feel being in the opposition? And I'd like to know your take on your assessment on the Buhari administration, its first 30 days.
As a matter of fact, GBENGA, I unfortunately, at a point in time, I was tilting towards aligning, with the APC fully in my thoughts, in my belief system, and I mean even in my thought process. But at a point in time, I started to feel comfortable where I stand, and that is, on the opposition. It's not because I don't believe in the ideologies and in the plans or in the promised change of the APC. But my challenge is just that I expected that the Buhari administration will be more energized and probably experience or put in more impetus into the activities of governance today. I mean, you and I mean, just like you said in the intro, you talked about security. A church was actually bombed over the weekend, killing the pastor and 5 other people, a mother and 2 children. That is very unfortunate. This is a nation. It is just very, very sad that, with all the promises that we got, there was a time President Buhari, before he became the president, was saying that if Nigeria voted him in, 6 weeks is okay to get rid, of Boko Haram. There were so many statements that were made.
He hasn't even spent 6 weeks yet, so let's give him some time.
Oh, okay. So
yes, and these things take time. Of course, the primary responsibility of any government is to ensure security of its citizens.
Now, let me, as a pro-Nigerian, GBENGA, yes, let me ask you this question: Do you see Boko Haram, become extinct in 6 weeks?
Extinct is difficult, but I believe the military, of course, and Mr. President is taking necessary measures to ensure that Nigerian lives are safe. Necessary measures. It's unprecedented. The military command, the headquarters has been moved closer to the theater of operations.
And that is when things really got worse.
Things will get better. Yes.
Things got worse after they moved into that region.
It's like the storm before the calm. Yes. So let's support our troops and
all right.
Keep praying for the best.
Yeah, for me and for me and for you also. Our belief is that what we're expecting is that the country gets better. And insecurity becomes, something of the past. Don't forget that in the history of this country, there was a time when wherever you leave your thing, you meet it there.
Exactly.
Things are so...
And the Northeast was peaceful and businesses were thriving. And we hope we get back to that level soon. But having said that, it's been said that over 500 Nigerian lives have been lost in the past 1 month. That is frightening and alarming. And
don't you think this may get worse during the Buhari administration than even the Jonathan regime?
He's a former,
we condemned Jonathan's administration so bad. We made it look like former President Goodluck Jonathan was just not doing anything.
Yes.
There was
I mean, the facts were there. You could question the competence of some of the people that were running his government, and of course, himself, if we want to go the whole 9 yards. This is a new administration. They have a different manifesto, a different thinking, a different person at the top, and I believe they will live up to their promises.
You know, because I mean, I'm considering a lot of things that have been done so far to curb and to fight against the insurgency. And I don't seem to be, you know, to have been able to record any form of success. I mean, there have been a coalition of, you know, neighboring nations, and we have all of them on board. The president has released money, $22 million, dollars for, I mean, out of the government fund to champion this cause, and yet, I mean, you just find out that Boko Haram
shuttle diplomacy too. I mean, he's visited neighboring countries in the first week of assumption in office. He's visited the partner countries in the multinational joint task force operation. You understand that, I mean, and money is being pumped. He's looking at the defense contracts and ensuring that there's minimum corruption in the military. These things are things that, and a lot of things that we're not privy to, the information, intelligence reports and things happening in the background. But having said that, let's look at the enemy they are fighting against. I mean, these are cowards. And
I think that Nigeria as a country lacks the intelligence. I think we lack.
You need to understand and reason with the government.
Okay.
Nobody is saying they feel if a Nigerian life is lost, it's a failure on the part of the government because it's their primary responsibility. But having said that, we need to understand the nature of the enemy they're fighting against. These guys,
that is the problem. They still cowards, do not know.
They use
exactly
suicide bombers. They eat soft targets. How do you prepare? How does the government read the mind of an individual that is coming to kill people? And the whole world has its share of terrorism problems. But having said that, it's not an excuse, and the government needs to walk the
Anyway,
yes.
I stand to be corrected. I really don't see how much work that the government of the day has put into whatever it is that we need to do.
Some patience.
Exactly. Okay. I mean, we will. I mean, we exercise this patience while, I mean, they kill innocent Nigerians on everyday basis. And that will take us to our first story. A suicide bomber blew himself up yesterday inside a church in Potiskum in Yobe State, killing 5 worshippers in the latest series of attacks. The bomber entered the Redeemed Christian Church of God located at the outskirts of the city around 9:55 a.m. in the morning and detonated his explosives. A police official said 4 worshippers died instantly while the 5th victim died after she was taken to the hospital. An eyewitness, Garba Manu, said the bomber arrived on a tricycle as soon as he entered, a loud explosion ripped through the church, which is still under construction. In June, there was a twin suicide bomb attack in Potiskum in which 10 people were killed and several others injured. And that's to really tell you that, Benga, throughout last week, we had almost like on everyday basis, we have a bomber, and it is very, very devastating.
It's reaching
innocent Nigerians exactly died.
But Dapo, where did things go wrong? I believe that the Nigerian army was winning, and I still believe they're winning this battle. But in the days prior to the inauguration, before May 29th, of course, we had reduced incidences of attacks. How come, where did they get this momentum from? We almost thought Boko Haram was a thing of the past. And of course, Nigerian army troops started engaging them. They were winning back territories. They engaged them in the dreaded Sambisa forest. Where do you think this impetus came from?
There's every possibility, Benga, in my own opinion, that the Nigerian military group have been given or furnishing us with wrong, information. I don't see any reason why up till now we still have this immense and numerous attack in Maiduguri town. If Baga, if Sambisa, and all of these areas that the military came out to tell Nigerians have been reclaimed, and then so where are this? And then, like I was trying to say earlier on, I think that our military actually lack what I can simply put as, innovative, tendencies to be able to attack or fight this insurgency. You will agree with me that they don't come out to shoot or fire, at people any longer. Now, we all know that they have adopted, the style, the bombing style, the suicide, bombing styles and all of that. And that is why I expect that all the people that are already, on the ground to fight this insurgency should deploy. When Chad came up, sometime, 2 weeks ago, to say that, okay, they have stopped all their women from putting on their veils, so that, they will be more transparent.
Exactly.
People, how come Nigeria has not done anything like that?
Military command.
How come Nigeria has not done something like that? How come the presidency has not come out to say no wearing of veils any longer? Ramadan or no Ramadan, it's not because we don't believe in their culture.
Or take proactive measures. Think outside the box, because you're fighting an asymmetrical warfare. This is not conventional.
It's not conventional.
You need to think unconventionally to.
All right, let's quickly take this call from Godson. Godson, good morning. All right, we lost that call. We just need to finish.
And I absolutely agree with you. It's not a conventional warfare where two traditional armies face themselves. You're fighting a faceless group, a cowardly group that goes around attacking soft targets and civilians. So the military needs to step up its game and
just why that happened yesterday afternoon, and 6 people were killed in that Redeemed Christian Church of God. Last night, report says a number of people were killed yesterday night after a twin explosion rocked Jos. Now, the Plateau State capital, one eyewitness said the first explosion went off at about 9:14 p.m. at a Bauchi Road shopping complex and a few meters to the Bauchi Park and University of Jos, and the second explosion was heard about 4 minutes later. The second explosion went off at a popular food sellers shop known as Hajiya Talatu. The second explosion was said to have occurred close to the popular Yan Taya Mosque, where Sheikh Sani Yahaya Tengiri observes his Ramadan, Tafsir. There is no official, statement yet, from the Nigerian police to let us know how very bad or devastating, the twin bomb, fared. But it's just really very sad that we're not really
the state of insecurity in the country.
Let's take this call from Ayo. Ayo, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Ayo. How is Jos today?
Jos is peaceful. We thank God.
All right.
We woke up this morning to the news of the twin blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's highly unfortunate because we've started seeing level of peace and tranquility in the city.
Yeah.
The military roadblock has been dismantled according to the instruction from the presidency. So there's that sense that there's security and impunity is over. But it's unfortunate because, as some people were saying last week, the president is too slow. And I think you need to rise up to the occasion. As we're speaking now, apart from the issue of the ministers not there and all that, the National Security Advisor, we do not have one presently. And he cannot be doing everything. So I feel that if there are people listening that could get message across, he needed to get a national security advisor. And also, the way we are going on this issue of insurgency, just as my brother was contributing, going to Sambisa Forest and all that, is like we're using analog approach to handle this digital problem. We need to step up the way we gather intelligence and how we go after these people, not just the army, the foot soldiers, but even people sponsoring them. We need to see how we do that. And the president needs to wake up. The issue of getting the national security advisor cannot be overstressed. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks,
Thank you very much, Ayo.
And we just pray, that peace gets restored as soon as possible.
Ayo is right. And a lot of people, of course, the ruling party wouldn't want to agree with the narrative that Mr. President is slow because they said they're cleaning the rot and left behind by the PDP. And you want to get your your house in order and ensure that you have competent hands to fill in these positions instead of just rushing to make appointments. But having said that, security is paramount. It's important. There's some positions that are very sensitive to national security, like the position of the National Security Advisor, and he should have appointed one now. I do understand that permanent secretaries are holding sway in other ministries,
yeah.
and the business of government is ongoing, even though ministers have not been appointed. But when it comes to security, you have your service chiefs. Yes, they're still there, but a sensitive position like a National Security Advisor, where do you get intelligence report from? Where do you get your security reports from? It needs to have made that appointment. It's more than 30 days now since it's been sworn in, so we need to be proactive about security.
You know, this still emphasizes the fact that
he did mention he called from Jos. It's frightening. Jos has been enjoying relative peace for some time now, and if you look at the papers, there were 3 people dead in Kogi, 30 killed in Zamfara. It's frightening. We're not in a state of war. And
no, but that's what I see, Benga. I don't know how you see it, you know, and I don't know how Nigerians sees it. You know, there's this, you know, there's this way I love to analyze it. You see, the families that are directly affected, I mean, feel the heat more. It's very cheap for us to come, you know, on a national television and analyze this without really having one of our family members or a very close friend getting involved in this, and you feel how very
and I saw pictures. Mr.
know,
Vice President Professor Shibajo was in Adama last week. He tore the notice, and I saw pictures of internally displaced persons. It reminded me of the early 90s in Sudan, and this is Nigeria. I mean, the shocking reality is that this is happening in our own country. We're having refugees in Nigeria, and I hope
you could see the expression
we
on the Vice
overcome
President's face when he entered the hospital and he saw that child that has been completely deformed, you know, by a bomb blast that happened, you know, very close to.
It's quite unfortunate, you know, but we have to hope for the best. And
it's all right. All right, let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. We'll be right back.